Absolutely.
You're one to talk.
I try.
Okay. Yep. Where am I? Hello. Well, I missed the last few. Well, sometimes the YouTube settings, I don't know how that works, but I've had that before too, where things that I'm subscribed to, I don't get notification for. I've watched so many old games on YouTube this off season.
I didn't get around to that. I was thinking about doing that. I was going to do it.
So busy.
Never happened.
We always run out of time during the off season, though. We always have like all these plans of what to do, but we run out of time.
Yep.
Hello, guys. Watching from Sydney, Australia, while on holiday from the UK.
Howdy, Sydney. It's tomorrow there. Hi, kitty.
Hello. Lots of people saying hi.
What's your
Hi
problem?
to all the people.
Hey, what's your problem?
She's like, why are you holding me? I was busy. Do you see this, Mom? He's holding me. I was busy.
There you go.
I have a USB stick with some of the Oilers 06 run games on it. How was the meetup yesterday?
It was good.
Really good. We had more people than we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people. I
Yeah,
didn't think there was going to be quite as many people yesterday because it was a week after we had done one before, and I hadn't posted it on YouTube, which I usually put them on YouTube as well, but I didn't get to it. So I was kind of surprised at how many people we had. Wonder what these cats think when us silly humans pick them up. Depends on which cat. Some of our cats see it as an opportunity to get somewhere higher. Certain cats sees it as us confining her and not allowing her to do what she wants to do. And Bear is all for it.
So Shadow, to some extent.
Depends on
Shadow
his mood.
doesn't stay up.
Shadow depends on his mood. Do another podcast from the guys with SDPN. They have to invite Shannon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Steve's got my cell number, so.
We now have exchanged phone numbers because that was a problem before.
Yep.
Because we have two boys that don't know how to contact people.
I know how to. I just generally don't.
So you've got two boys that don't.
Yeah, I generally don't.
Right. So. Love your jersey. Go Devils. Well, thank you. Yvonne, do you have a favorite Devils player? I do not. I don't generally have favorite players for teams. I don't watch hockey like that. I've explained this to people when we go to meetups. I don't watch hockey like that. I watch hockey because I enjoy watching the game. It doesn't matter who's playing. I just like watching the game. I don't watch for specific players so much. Now, the teams that I am a biggest fan of, the ones that I really enjoy watching, then I'll have players that I really like and I'll watch out for. But other than that, I can just watch a game and enjoy the game, and I don't really pay attention to the specific players so much. So, which team has the best core signed through 2030? Could it be Carolina?
Jeez. That's a tough one. There are a number of teams that have core players signed through 2030. I'd have to look at that and see if there's enough there for a video. Of course, the Oilers are going to look to lock up Draisaitl this year and then McDavid next year. So, they're going to be signed at least through 2032. But I could do something on that. It's tough for me off the cuff just to say what the best long-term signed core is.
For TikTok girls, their favorite Devils are Hughes and Mercer. LOL. I am definitely not a TikTok girl. I'm too old, and I don't watch hockey like that. I don't.
Victory Plus is supposed to launch, I think, September 15th. You can download it. And yeah, I think it's September 15th that it's supposed to be good to go. At least that's what I read.
Okay. Yvonne, Go Devils. Are they your team? They are not.
No.
But this is a really fun jersey, isn't it? But no,
First
Devils
reverse
are not
retro.
my team.
No, her teams are Philadelphia, the Islanders, really likes Detroit. You were a big Cleveland Barons fan back in the 70s.
Before I was born? I mean, yeah.
I mean, it transcends. Transcends.
No.
Jets, Wild, and Canucks.
Yvonne is a diehard Devils fan. You are wearing my Holy Grail jersey. I know I am very lucky to have this jersey. I got a hand-me-down.
I was told that the guy who normally sends me the jerseys, Ben, that he wasn't getting New Jersey, so I ordered one from the Devils, and then he got it. So
which means I got a hand-me-down.
I passed
It's
her.
just a little bit big,
passed
but
her
that's
the other
okay.
one.
Big jerseys
And,
are fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I can only buy one. Sharks current, home or away.
Oh, away. The white Sharks jersey is absolutely
nice.
gorgeous. I had to get that with my name on it to wear for meetups because I think it's absolutely gorgeous jersey.
When will PWHL release team names?
This month. They were supposed to do it last month, but there was a delay, so it's supposed to be this month that they're announcing team names. And there should be quite a hullabaloo around it when it happens. So
Hullabaloo.
I may be able to do a video strictly on that when it takes place.
How are you guys wearing jerseys in this heat? The air conditioner's right there.
Yep, air
It's
conditioning.
really like 3 meters in front of us.
Yeah.
The rest of the house would be way too hot, I think.
Absolutely.
Where are all your cats?
There.
There's right. Well,
She's just below the camera line.
There's a stool right here. She's right in front of the
Azrael's
stool.
on the cat tree because I put her on the cat tree.
Shadows on the cat
on
tree.
this cat tree.
Maple,
Right
where did Maple go? Maple was here just a second ago.
Oh, probably figured we're in here so you can start some trouble somewhere
Actually,
else.
I don't know where Pixel is. She must be upstairs. I haven't seen her for a little bit.
Could be.
And Maple, yeah, she's being free. She's a free spirit.
Probably trying to find a way outside.
How was the weather today?
Hot.
So
a little
hot.
bit cloudy, so that leads to a little bit more
muggy. It's hot. Today is Nagar Katan, which is an Indian, Punjabi or Sikh. It's a Sikh holiday.
There you go.
And it goes very near our house, so we always go out there and enjoy that. And oh my gosh, so hot, and so many people. So hot. Way more people than Disneyland. That was harder to walk through than Disneyland. So hot. Got the Ducks new jersey yet?
Nope. There've been production delays, which I totally get. That's normal. I'm more upset if there isn't a production delay because something else is going to go wrong. So, yeah.
We gotta touch it though.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've looked at it, but I don't have one yet.
Should Calgary and Columbus retire Johnny's number 13?
I would look for both teams to make an announcement between now and the start of the season. I could see the number 13 being retired by both teams for their first home game of the year.
Okay. Let's see. Can't wait till we get cool weather in Florida again. Here too. I am tired of over 30. That's stupid. Worst contract in the NHL?
That's a tough call too.
What is she doing?
The Engvall one might be the one that's the longest contract that just has a bewildering cap hit. Yeah, I go with that one for an odd cap hit. I think I've done a video not too long ago on expensive contracts, but between now and the start of the season, I absolutely can if I haven't.
Thoughts on St. Louis's season? Playoff team?
It's possible things really have to fall their way for that to happen. The problem St. Louis is going to face is that Nashville, Winnipeg, Dallas, and Colorado should all be pretty strong again. So it makes it difficult to see them ahead of any of those 4 teams.
Will the Oilers make the finals again?
They can. We've seen teams go back to the final back-to-back years. They're going to have to get the production from the wings that they've had their struggles off and on with getting. And they're going to have to navigate their salary cap situation well, but they can.
Thoughts on Isles season? Sorokin bounce back?
He has to. I did the Islanders season preview. I think it was yesterday, the Islanders season preview. Yeah, Sorokin's too good a goaltender not to have a bounce back season.
Which division do you think is the toughest to call this early?
Atlantic. The Atlantic division for me is the toughest call, both at the top and at the bottom.
Oh, how many games in Abbey are you all going to get to attend?
I haven't looked at the schedule yet. I'm going to look at the Abbotsford schedule compared to the NHL schedule.
I'll be going to a lot.
She's going to go to most of them. I'll be able to go to a handful. There's usually it's like 6 or 7 during the season. Keeping in mind that this season on slow NHL nights, I'm going to be trying to do other things a little more often. So, and since the Vancouver Canucks tickets are ridiculously expensive, I won't have to be going to a hockey game this time around.
But we are Abbotsford season ticket holders, so
yep.
I go to most of the games, and I usually take a child or two, rotate which kiddo I take.
Yep. It'd be fun too. We moved our seats this year.
We did. So. We have different seats. We changed.
Yep.
So that'll be cool. The kids will be confused. It'll take me a little bit to remember where our seats are. Not that they're
same
very
section.
Moved. Yeah.
Same section, just higher up.
Can the Rangers have a deep run again? When is your Rangers preview?
The Rangers preview's tomorrow. So I've only got 2 teams left. I've got the Rangers and the Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets I'm holding off on, obviously. Rangers preview is tomorrow, and as long as they've got Igor in net, there's no reason to think they can't go on a long
run. Could you do a jersey video about your 10 favorite jerseys for each decade?
I've been thinking about doing other jersey videos. If you notice, though, I did take the rack out. The rack being out is normally a sign that I feel like, okay, I'm done with tripping over that for a while. But I could do jersey videos here and there. Between now and the start of the season, there will be time for me to do other videos.
One more street hockey gathering before winter.
That's the intention. I want to have one, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. So, and I'm really hoping the weather holds up, because once you get into September, the weather becomes really all over the place.
Where do the Blue Jackets even go from here?
Don Waddell's going to need some time to reset, and I think the NHL will be in contact with them, and I think other GMs will be in contact with Waddell, and I think they'll come up with something that'll help Columbus, and I really think the league's going to work together on this one, and Waddell's plan going forward, we'll probably have a better idea of what that plan is over the next couple of weeks, but he's not going to do it right away, obviously.
Do you own a Minnesota Moose jersey?
No, I have I think it's 3 Manitoba Moose jerseys. I don't have a Minnesota Moose jersey, and I don't have the Halifax Mooseheads either.
How many goals do you think Laine scores?
Laine's a tough one. I would say 30. And I think he'll be very streaky, as he has usually been throughout his career. He'll have 10 games where he looks fantastic. He'll have 10 games where he doesn't score. I think that's the kind of season we're going to see from him, because that's been his MO throughout his career.
Would it be possible if they automatically award the number 1 pick to Columbus?
That would be something that the league would have to agree on. And I don't know that a number 1 draft pick going to Columbus is necessarily going to happen, but there will be something, some form of compensation, something will be done, I would think, for the Blue Jackets. Bettman's got some time here too. Maybe he talks with Waddell and they work something out.
Okay, wouldn't be surprised if I'm not the first. No. Rest in peace, Johnny and M.
It was the topic of conversation yesterday during the meetup.
Yes.
Completely understandable. I also want to say too here, I've seen a few comments. That video on the passing of Johnny Gaudreau, not monetized. I have not made a cent on that. There are no ads on that video. And I can't do videos on that topic at this point. It's too soon. But there will be other videos on the topic of the Blue Jackets moving forward beyond the season preview. Just it's not now.
Got to give it a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Will the Canucks make the playoffs again this year?
They better. The problem is, so you've got Demko with this phantom knee injury that could be really, really bad, and discussions about how he gets injured a lot and maybe his knee is going to be a problem for good. And then you've got Shilov's being hurt and not being able to play in the Olympic qualifiers. There's rightfully a reason for Canuck fans right now to be panicked because they don't really have the goaltending. There's been rumors they're looking at goaltenders. They're going to have to get one signed pretty soon here because, I mean, I don't mind Patera as a number 3, but not as a number 1.
Can't wait for PWHL's branding.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see which names they pick, and if any of it ends up overlapping with the PHF names, which weren't bad. They weren't bad names that the PHF teams had, so we'll see if any of them go back to a name they've had before, or if they decide it has to be brand new.
Can the Kraken get 100 points again like their second season?
I don't think they get 100 points, but I think they can get back to the playoffs. I could see them being in the 90 to 95 point range. 100 might be a little bit high.
Did Demko re-aggravate it? Because I remember hearing he'd be back for Game 5 versus Edmonton, and now it's question mark for regular season.
I think with Demko's knee, I think it's more complicated than what they thought it was going to be, and it's not responding to rehab the way they want it to. So he's getting better, but it's very, very slow. And with the knee injury, and especially, goaltender and the lateral movement and everything, it can be really, really tough.
Who is your favorite Canucks prospect?
Canucks don't have a whole lot of prospects that have yet to reach the NHL that I'm that excited about, but I do want to see if the defenseman named Pettersson is as good defensively as he's being, I guess, advertised. So we'll see him here in Abbotsford. I'm kind of excited to watch him play and see how good he is.
Bought my Utah Hockey Club season tickets. It's one of the first 5,000 to sign up. The waiting is killing me. I hope they chase the playoffs. Getting close will be a good season for me.
I think Utah is going to be in the mix, and they still have cap space to do more if they want to. So Utah is definitely going to be a team to watch this year.
Do you think Ovechkin will hit 42 goals this year?
I don't think so. He had 31 this past season, I think. Probably 30 to 35 goals for Ovechkin. So I don't think he reaches Gretzky this season. I think it'll be the following year.
I'm really trying to not sneeze.
I know.
Is John Carlson Hall of Fame? And what are your thoughts on Arshdeep
Bains?
Yeah.
Carlson, it's tough. He's never won a Norris Trophy. I think if he plays long enough, puts up enough points, he'll end up in the Hall of Fame. Right now, maybe. In terms of Bains is very good at the AHL level.
He's very good.
He had issues at the NHL level. He could end up being one of those players who's a very good AHL player. We'll see. I do hope he makes it at the NHL level, but either way, he's been pretty good here in Abbey.
Do you think Blaine and Montreal is a good fit?
Should be. Again, I think he can get up into about the 30 goal range. He's never. I don't think he's ever going to be that 50 goal scorer that was expected when he was drafted. But he can still play. He can still get into that 30 goal range. He just has to stay healthy, and be in a good mindset. For Laine, very often he has to be happy, and if he's not happy, his play shows it.
Who is your favorite all-around current Avalanche player?
It's hard not to root for Makar. Makar just impresses me every single game with how he plays. He is so good. And then I see the debate about Makar versus Hughes, but like I'm so impressed with Makar. He's such a fun player to watch.
Would you consider PWHL year-by-year history videos eventually?
Well, they only have 1 year. So, and there's not much to really talk about from the one season so far. That'd be like 10 years from now before we'd be doing that, I would think.
It would also be tricky because the NHL history videos, as videos go, don't get as many views.
No.
And Shannon has to put in so much more time. Compared to most videos, the history videos take him a lot longer to prepare, and then they don't get as many views.
Yeah.
And then if you're talking about the PWHL, that would be even less views.
Likely.
So then he has to look at how much time he's putting into something that's not going to get the views. So that's where that's kind of tricky as well.
I mean, I can get into, when we get close to PWHL season, doing like a preview for the season, but the historical stuff, it just doesn't click. I'm gonna have to change next off season what I do playlists on, but the historical stuff just like the difference. Looking at my numbers from last year to this year, to me, it traces due to the historical videos. They're just not clicking.
Could the NHL expand back to Hartford?
I think they need a brand new building. They need a new building. They also need to have somebody who has over $1 billion, because the expansion fee this time around could be as high as $1 billion US. So it has to be a billionaire owner, and you're going to need a brand new arena. I know that Connecticut's governors kind of pushed for Hartford to come back. It's really difficult for the NHL to go back to Hartford.
Hold on, it skipped a bit here. Okay, excited for tomorrow's season review video or preview? Should be more
review.
Oh,
the historical one.
Oh, yes, okay. Should be more popular as they get closer to present. Wonder which team gets the most for previews this year.
Yeah, and I'm also pre-recording them. So what I did the day that I didn't post anything live to the channel, I wanted to be productive. I wanted to do so. I did 3. So right now I'm 2 days ahead on the season reviews. So actually, I'm going to be putting together the board tonight for the 1999-2000 season, and it works pretty well with pre-recording them for me. So I'm going to keep doing that.
What did you have for dinner tonight? Well, it's Nagar Katan, so pakora, lots of pakora, because pakora is fantastic, and samosas, and cardamom milk, and chai.
I had the usual.
All the healthy stuff.
I had the hamburger. Last night we went to Old Spaghetti Factory. And my stomach just does not like pasta anymore. The older I get, the more my stomach's like, I think I'm done with this food. And so today I went back to just the bland, normal stuff.
Which team that made the playoffs comes up short this season?
In the East, I think Washington and the Islanders are the easy ones to pick. The problem being you got Patrick Roy behind the bench for the Islanders. I do think the Caps could find themselves on the outside looking in. Out west, the West is a tough call too. I'm not picking Vancouver, obviously. Kings are the one that I think could fall out, but it's the recency bias. We always get caught in the recency bias. That's why I like doing the polls on where everybody's going to finish. And in general, people kind of vote for where they finished last season for the most part, which I find endlessly entertaining and fascinating. And I do the same thing. So, and then the season unfolds and there's always a surprise. But for me, the Kings are the one out west that could very well find themselves on the outside looking.
Would you guys be mad if I copied your show, but in a not-for-kids Shorzy adult language style version?
That wouldn't be copying at all, then.
Don't copy somebody else's show. Don't.
The one thing,
do your own
the one
thing.
thing to keep in mind is that when you're starting something in social media or here on YouTube, having a unique message and a unique style are really, really important. So like when I started out on the platform, I had influences, but it would be difficult to pick up on those influences from my set and from my delivery and from how I do videos. There were just certain things I picked up from certain people. So I think a Shorzy style of thing can work, but it has to have its own unique feel and its own unique look to it.
And it has to be you.
So that you end up with a situation where people are like, I like this. This is rather than, oh, this is a derivative of.
Right.
So that's the tricky part.
When you have a channel, people watch it for you.
Yeah.
Not just the information you have. They watch it for the individual and how they do their show. If you're just doing it like somebody else's, you can't keep doing that. It won't work in the long term. You need to be you.
Yeah.
That, and if you copy somebody else's channel, your comment section is just going to be full of, hey, this is this person's channel, which we've definitely seen before.
If Gretzky stayed with St. Louis, does Hull stay too? No. And apparently Gretzky didn't really have any interest in staying in St. Louis. Was quite happy to go to the New York Rangers. No, I think that relationship just, yeah, it was, and not only that, I think it might have extended Hull's career, going to Dallas, going to Detroit, eventually the Coyotes as well at the end there. I think that prolonged his career.
People absolutely watch the channel for the cats.
Yep.
Even though in the beginning, people told Shannon to not have the cats in the videos.
Well,
and now people get mad if you can't see the cat.
The one video I did where I was holding Barrett,
Right.
there were comments saying, don't do that. Don't hold the cat.
Right.
I don't like it.
But then there were
I
more
do.
comments saying, oh, Bear.
Yeah.
So, it's got to do what you would like. Yeah, I'm just a cat fan. I don't care about hockey. See, there you go. How does your confidence in the Panthers going back to back compare to your preseason confidence with the 2016-17 Pens and the 2021 Bolts?
I wasn't necessarily that confident in the Bolts. I was wondering how they'd handle the short turnaround. So the 2021 and then into the 2021 season was a very short turnaround there. I felt like Tampa Bay played a ton of really tough games over a 12-month period there, which was actually less than 12 months because it was, I think, September that they awarded. And then anyways, but in the grand scheme of things, I would love to say that I called Pittsburgh. I didn't call Pittsburgh repeating in 2017 until just before the playoffs because I had picked the Capitals to win the Cup. And just before the playoffs, I actually did a Patreon video where I was like, I screwed up. I should have taken Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looks like they're unstoppable right now. But before the season, I was taking Washington.
Cats and rabbits are all good. Agreed.
Yep.
Bun Buns are chilling. I just swept the floor about an hour ago, so they're really happy now. They're funny.
Cinnabon.
Yeah, no, she's right there.
Oh, she came back.
There's two bunnies right there on the floor. That's kind of their favorite spot. I started following in 2019 in the small room with the cat tree. That's not the small room. It was smaller before that.
It was, yeah.
Before that, it was the living room.
Yep.
Before that, it was
Half
the
the living
bedroom.
room.
Yeah, half of our living room.
Yep.
Could you answer my question, please? I don't know what the question is.
I could try. Hi, Alyssa.
Oh, a bunch of people saying hi. Been around since 2016. Oh, been here forever. Use your psychic powers. There you go. Use your psychic power to answer questions that we don't know what they are.
I mean, I guess I could try.
Oh, somebody else has a cat named Bear, too.
Hi, baby.
Is your bear just one of like a leechy cat that has to be like in your face all the time?
What's wrong,
Ours
baby?
does.
Come here.
I think the first video I saw,
Oh.
you were in the bedroom.
Okay.
That would have been 6 years ago, right? I think it was 6 years ago
7
when
years
the bedroom was the set.
6 years ago, I was in the living room.
That was a tiny space. Oh, everybody says hi to Shadow.
Good boy. Good boy, kitty.
My wife's cat
Okay.
Nermal is always
Okay.
on my wife because it's Nermal. Nermal's cute and adorable as long as you don't mail him to Abu Dhabi. Are you buying NHL 25 when it comes out?
No. I bought NHL 24 when it went on sale. I played it for like 10 minutes and I was like, this kind of sucks. So, no, I won't be getting 25.
Shadow is a big kitty. He is by far our biggest kitty.
He's also a big wuss, aren't you?
He is the biggest scaredy cat, and
Azrael
he only
pushes him
likes
around.
Shannon.
Maple pushes him around.
Yep.
My baby.
It's so funny. The little kitties.
My baby. Getting bullied by the girls.
Because they know that he just goes away. It's fine.
I know.
In the early days, I didn't know the cat's name, so I called Shadow Night Shift Cat and Bear Day Shift Cat. Oh, I don't know how much Shadow weighs. I haven't weighed him in a few years.
Isn't it like 15,
I weighed
16
all
pounds?
of the cats like 4 years ago so that I knew.
For flea meds.
Yeah, and I haven't weighed them since. I probably have it saved in my phone.
We haven't needed the flea meds in this house like we did in the
We
old house.
haven't.
Because
Which is
they had
so
all the
weird.
carpets.
That's true. We don't have carpets. Highly recommend.
Yep.
Especially if you have allergies, which I definitely do. Do your cats ever fight with the rabbits? Nah.
No.
The rabbits would win anyways, so.
They play with each other here and there, but they don't fight.
Bear and Cinnabon are friends. They're buds.
Yeah, they sleep next to each other in here all the time.
Perfect world with Mario blessed with good health. Who are you taking, Wayne or Mario?
In their primes, if it's a Stanley Cup clinching game, I'm taking Wayne, but it's close. Mario was one of the most powerful hockey players in the history of the game, so you really can't go wrong there.
Idaho misses your Yvonne comeback soon.
It does. Like,
it's not a see, and we have people that come on the channel and they don't get it, and they're like, "What? Yvonne's from Idaho?"
She is.
They totally believe these random stories that Shannon comes up with.
She is. She was the first ever Miss Potato Fest. They had a big potato. It was like a potato carving thing where you could carve potatoes. It's like pumpkin carving, but different. And this right here, Miss Potato Fest.
Not
1997. Miss Potato Fest.
What year? 97?
Yeah.
So when I was 16?
Yep.
Well, there you go.
Yep. You're the one that
so
told
weird.
me the story.
I don't remember it, but
you should. Because you won. You had the sash and everything. She wore the sash on her first date, too. It was kind of awkward. She was like, oh, this?
Mind you, our first date was to a concert.
I forgot I was wearing this.
Because of course it was.
And then she told me the whole story about this whole potato thing, and now she denies it.
If Idaho gets an NHL team, will Yvonne be the goalie?
She'll be the mascot.
I don't think I'm big enough to be a goalie.
She'll be the mascot. They
generally want taller people as a goalie. I'm 5'2", so I don't know how well that would work out. Just saying. I know Gretzky was happy to go to New York in 97, but years later he said he's happy to have played for the Blues. His wife is from there. Go Blues.
Yeah, but at the time he left St. Louis, wasn't as pretty, which is fine, because hockey players go through that all the time.
Shannon never lies. Shannon, I have a question I think everybody wants the answer to. Where was your wife during the War of 1812?
Well,
you guys,
a little known fact is
we're really early in the live stream for these.
Is that Yvonne's family was actually on the French side in the War of 1812. So it was technically a fight between the British, which became Canadians, and the Americans. But the French were kind of shoehorning their way in there too through Mexico. And so Yvonne's family was on that side. And so
My family was still in England.
she ended up, well, no, because they came over. That was Mayflower 2. When Mayflower 2 came over.
No.
Yeah.
I am only
Mayflower
fourth
2.
generation in Canada.
They made 6 Mayflowers, actually. Not very well known fact, but there were 6 Mayflowers, and they were only used to bring people over to North America. That was it.
People didn't take the Mayflower to come to Canada.
No, I said North America.
They didn't. That's not how it worked. Okay.
Yes, you stop
Is
off
Halloween
in Jamaica
a
and then you
big
come
thing
to
in
here.
Canada? Yes.
Halloween's awesome.
And it's different than the American Halloween.
Halloween's getting bigger every year. I love it. It's a whole season now.
We do fireworks.
I think the fact that it's a season, yeah.
It's the one time a year that people actually set off their own fireworks.
Halloween night.
Halloween.
The review on Halloween night.
So loud. You will hear fireworks. It's so loud.
Yeah.
It's not like American July 4th fireworks. It's not that level. But people do fireworks on Halloween. And yeah, Halloween is super fun.
And this year, October 31st.
I've already been to Spirit Halloween this year too.
7. There's 7 games on Halloween this year.
What?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Because it's on Thursday.
That's dumb.
And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
this
games
is why
4.
Shannon never gets to go trick-or-treating with me and the kids.
5 games at 4, 1 at 5, and 1 at 7:30. So the review that night won't be up until around 11 o'clock. Most of the fireworks should be done by then. So
it's true. That's stupid.
That should be okay. Last year there was only a couple of games and it was done early.
Dumb. Can you remember any of the Baltimore hockey teams?
The Skipjacks? Didn't they have the Lumberjacks too? Did the Lumberjacks become the Skipjacks or vice versa? Baltimore. I know they've had other AHL teams too. At least I think they have. I was going to do a video on that at one point too when I got the Total Hockey book, which is out on the book stand out there, where the Total Hockey book gets into every league there's ever been in North America and every single team's name. There are some really fun names.
Yvonne is a French name. Dun,
right.
dun, dun.
Right.
It is a French name.
Right.
But I don't have any French. We both did that 23andMe. We sent them in together. And my mom was so excited thinking we were going to find something cool back in our DNA. Nope. Our genetics.
War of 1812. France.
Just England. Like there's a little bit of Sweden. I mean, that probably explains some of the paleness. There's no French. It's just all English.
Then why do you throw a croissant at me when you're angry with me?
Better than a brick? I don't know.
See, she's not denying she throws croissants at me. And who have croissants? French people have croissants. So there you go.
You guys don't see fireworks when the Punjabis in the community light fireworks on Diwali. Not a little bit, really, not like tiny bit, but it's not Halloween.
Halloween is
there are fireworks, but
whole next level.
Yeah, it's only a little bit.
Diwali, there's a bit. Christmas and New Year's, you get a little bit too.
Not much.
But
Halloween's our firework holiday
because it goes on for days.
It's not too bad though. I was in the States for July 4th. Gosh, like 10 years ago. That was awful. It's nothing like
July
that.
4th is an
It's terrifying. I don't ever want to be in the States on July 4th again. That's terrifying. It's nothing like that. Let's see. Would you be an NHL referee?
NHL referees, that's a tough job. That is a very, very difficult job. The speed necessary and then the amount of ridicule you're going to get from players, coaches, and fans. I don't know that that's a job I would want. I don't envy that job, and I have respect for anybody doing it.
You guys don't do fireworks on Halloween in Toronto? Really?
There's been fireworks here for as long as
I thought it was all
I've
of
been around.
Canada. I know there's other places. It's not just a BC thing.
Because we live in Abbey now, but I lived in Chilliwack most of my life, and we
Yeah.
always had fireworks and firecrackers on Halloween. When I was a little kid, it was all firecrackers, but still, it was all night. It was obnoxious.
Are you guys getting dressed on Halloween? Yes.
I always do.
Where's the fun in not doing it?
She's usually dressed for Halloween when it's like March. So
I have
why should
people
Halloween be any
mistake
different?
my clothing for Halloween quite frequently. Just yesterday, I had somebody tell me that they liked my Halloween dress. I said, yes, Halloween. That's it.
Yeah, it's Halloween year round. That's our favorite day. And everybody always says holiday. It's not a holiday.
Nope.
Nobody actually gets a day off for Halloween. I hope that changes.
Was Shannon ever a hockey player for Halloween?
I was the blind ref. I was the
yeah.
blind ref that one year.
When you were little, were you ever a hockey player?
No,
That'd be
I was
kind of
always out as
boring.
a cowboy.
But Shannon
No, the cowboy was
wore
boring.
jerseys anyways, so that wouldn't really be much of a costume.
My mom wouldn't buy those cheapy costumes, the vinyl
we
ones.
never had those either.
She wouldn't, so I'd just be a cowboy every year. So I'm like, can I just be E.T. or something? No.
I've explained that to my
on.
kids that when we were little, there were those pre-made crappy ones. They were like a
I wanted
poncho
one.
and that
I
flat
wanted one.
plastic mask.
Yeah,
They were terrible.
E.T. was
But
great.
most people, your Halloween costume was stuff you found in your closet. You'd put things together, or you'd find things like we didn't really have thrift stores where I lived, but yard sales, and you would make a costume and you'd do fun makeup.
But the problem I had was that it always rained, so it didn't matter what I was going to wear because I'd be wearing a rain jacket over it. So
I remember one year it hailing badly.
And then as an adult, as a young adult, I used to like to, on Halloween, I'd use the Crow makeup. I do my makeup the same as Brandon Lee and the Crow. Nobody recognized me. That was my favorite thing. The first time I did it, nobody could recognize. Even my own mother didn't recognize me until I spoke to her. I sat across from her for 10 minutes. And I was like, "Hey, Mom," and she's like, "Holy crap, it's my kid." And so that was my favorite outfit. The only problem was there was one time I was at a family's house, and I put on the whole makeup, and I came out, and their toddler started bawling because he was terrified of me.
Oh, no.
So I took all the makeup off. I brought him into the washroom where I was putting on and let him watch me put all the makeup on. Then he was okay. But that was my favorite. I don't really have the hair for that anymore because I had a full head of hair at that point, and I had long hair too. So it worked. I can't do the Crow now.
To prove,
my forehead ends right up about here now.
To prove how much Adelaide is like me, when I was younger, my favorite costume I dressed up as a rabbit. I was a rabbit for quite a few years. Not like the sexy rabbit costumes.
Oh.
Mine was the super styling 80s sweatsuit.
Nah, you make all of it
gray sexy. Sweatpants, gray sweatshirt.
Still
and
sexy.
I had a hat that had ears on it, and then I would do the pink nose.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Dork.
Nice.
Anyways, I was a rabbit quite a few years, and then I was a butterfly.
So
I'd be a butterfly.
I'm gonna hop on the internet here.
No, whatever. Okay, the women's cat costumes, it's stupid. All you do is wear whatever, and then you put ears and a tail, and ta-da! I'm a cat. That's dumb. No.
Okay, so now you're ruining my Halloween present and Christmas present.
We went to Spirit Halloween. I took the 17-year-old to Spirit Halloween, and I was pointing out all of the costumes. There's the regular version and the sexy version, and some of them you're like, no.
Some of them are really funny.
Why is there a sexy version of SpongeBob? Really? Why? And here's sexy Patrick. Why is
okay. Patrick
anyways,
and
moving
SpongeBob
on.
have some sex appeal too.
No.
They do.
No. Okay.
They do. That one episode where they're swearing like dolphins. I'm telling you, there's some serious attitude there.
All right, so we got totally off track.
No, somebody's coming in and going, is this a hockey channel?
I know, wait, what are they
is going
about?
on over? What happens when there's no hockey?
There you go, entertainment for everybody. Okay, THG. Are you foreseeing any breakout players this year?
Oh, breakout players. I did do a breakthrough video about a month ago. I think in Vegas, if Alexander Holtz plays a top 6 role, he could be a big performer for them this season. Winnipeg's got Perfetti, and they've got room for him to grow, move up the lineup. And if Jack Quinn could stay healthy in Buffalo, Jack Quinn, I like Jack a lot. And since I rated him really highly in the redraft I did from 2020, him doing really well this year would help make it so that redraft doesn't age as badly as it could. And it absolutely could. And I acknowledge that when I did it.
I see the comment regarding fireworks on Halloween. We do not live somewhere where we hear the sound of fireworks and we have to worry about it being the sound of gunshots.
No.
We don't have that problem here.
Nope.
I am sure there are areas that would be scary. That's not here. We do not have that problem.
But our animals don't like it.
That is very true. But nobody is worried about there being fireworks because you can't distinguish it from gunshots. That's not an issue here.
Our rabbits, when there's a lot of loud noises, they start to thump.
We put music on Halloween. Yeah. I put music on the TV. And so I put on kind of loudish music, which they don't mind. But then it kind of...
And then in here I have the hockey on, and Cinnabon and Licorice see that I'm okay, and then they're okay.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about guns here. We really, really don't. We don't. You can even watch the news. You don't have to worry about guns here. Do they make the comfort vests for rabbits? I don't know that they do.
I don't think
know
so.
That they would like that. We just put music on and it works really well.
Yeah.
When you get your Shadows pro hockey team, what is the goal song?
Goal song. I'm thinking 9 Inch Nails.
Which song?
That's a good
now
question.
Shannon's going to be thinking about this.
Wish, maybe? I don't know if Wish works as a goal song. Maybe. The one from The Crow. I was just talking about The Crow. The one from The Crow, that could absolutely work as a goal song. Head Like a Hole. Head Like a Hole would absolutely work as a goal song. That's my vote. Head Like a Hole, 9 Inch Nails.
You guys don't know how lucky you are with all those trees. We know that we are very lucky in where we live. Yeah. I remind my children quite frequently how lucky we are to live in one of the most beautiful parts of the world. We know.
Yeah, we were on the Sea to Sky Highway to go up to Squamish there, and just
telling the kids, gorgeous. Get off your phone. Do you know how many people have like a life dream of being able to see this? You guys are so lucky.
Yeah. We
live here. Get off your phone. So, yeah. Gotta watch Crow after this. What American city do you want to visit the most?
New York would be fun.
New York would be really cool.
New York, that would be really Times Square. I'd love to go to Times Square.
That would be really
see neat. A show on Broadway.
Yes.
Like
I would love that. So I would love that.
Might shut her up for a while.
Pardon me.
If I did that,
that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Does Disney World count as a city in the States I'd like to visit?
Technically, yes. I mean, it's kind of a city.
Mm-hmm.
You have to choose an alternate reality. Which universe and which character would you rather be there? Marvel, DC, X-Men, or Hogwarts? She picks Hogwarts.
I don't know. There's some scary stuff there.
For me, Marvel. It'd be Marvel. She doesn't know who's DC and who's Marvel anyways.
I'm really bad at remembering who's who, except for Marvel's at Disneyland. So if they're at Disneyland, they're not DC.
So
ta-da! See, I know stuff.
See, I'd go with Marvel.
Come to St. Louis. Where is he? Ride up in the arch. That sounds terrifying. Isn't that huge?
The arch is huge.
Isn't it?
Wouldn't
Like
that be
it
fun, though?
looks. It'd be cool. I'm afraid of heights, but there's a lot of times I'm like, but I want to be able to do it.
Like at the Britannia Museum.
Yeah.
They got these stairs that go
yeah.
up 20
Yes.
stories. And we're like,
That's terrifying. I want to go up there.
we would love to be able to
I
do
will
that.
go up those stairs.
I know it's
Can
not
I?
safe, but we want to try it.
Yeah. That looks terrifying. I would like to, though. Do Rangers worsen this upcoming season?
It's going to depend on Panarin continue to play the way that he can, and he usually does during the regular season. And Igor, if Igor's not signed into the regular season, does it distract him? Like, do they start giving him more and more questions on his pending UFA status? As long as there's no external noise, I don't see any reason why the Rangers can't be first in the division.
Are you going to the Shoresy Classic?
Not that I know of.
How much do you think? Oh, it moved. Hold on. How much do you think the Blues acquiring Broberg and Holloway moves the needle?
Broberg's a good top 6 defenseman who has top 4 potential. Holloway is a good forward who hasn't quite clicked offensively yet in the NHL. I think it does add depth, but I don't think it's going to equal a ton more wins or anything. I think it'll help, but it's not going to be like this huge game changer when it comes to their fortunes this year.
Do you remember at the end of Marvel movies, they give you a scene of what may be to come in the future? Why did they show Howard the Duck at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy?
The plan was I think they were using as like a test and see if that could potentially work. Howard the Duck, though, I don't think we'll ever see a movie because it doesn't work as a movie. Yeah. I think he can work as a secondary character for a scene or two, and that's about it. It would never work as a movie. But there, with the amount of projects they've had, there are definitely some end credit scenes that won't get paid off. For instance, Harry Styles coming in there at the end of Eternals, and they're never going to pay that off. So, like, that kind of sucks. But that's what happens when your universe gets a little too big.
Does Calgary sign any players this season?
The Flames aren't really in a position where they're going to be out signing guys. If anything, there's going to be rentals at the deadline. They want to make sure there's spots for young players and that they have the ability to add maybe a contract another team wants to get rid of. But I don't see, I don't see Calgary making any additions.
Getting a lot of rest in peace, Johnny Hockey again. Oh, okay. What does Columbus do now? Where to go? Was what they're going to do now. They're under the cap.
I think we'll have a better idea for what the plan is going forward with the Blue Jackets within a couple of weeks. Even if Don Waddell knows right now what he's going to do, I don't think he's going to tip his hand. He's going to let this sit. He's going to let the hockey community go through the mourning process, and then we'll see what the plan is going forward. It may actually adjust how they're approaching this season completely.
But it's got to give them a bit of time.
Yep.
They wouldn't do anything right away.
Yeah.
Do you see any division having 5 teams in the playoffs?
I think the divisions are pretty equal. I think that there's going to be an expectation that maybe the Central has 5 teams in there. But I think every division should have 4 teams in the playoffs this season. Again, should happen that way.
Who is your favorite Russian NHL player who isn't a star player?
See, Larionov wouldn't have qualified. I don't know if Valeri Kamensky would qualify, but Valeri Kamensky was a player I liked a lot. I thought he was underrated when he came over and played for Colorado. I really liked his game. I thought he was a really smart hockey player. I would say, and from a current perspective, I don't know who I would pick currently, but I would pick Kamensky overall.
Do you think the Islanders will do anything about their cap space, or do you think Lou is comfortable just sitting right at the cap?
Lamoriello has never been one to panic. He's never been one to make snap judgments. So I think he's fine being at the cap. Looking at the roster when I did the preview, it looks to me like it's pretty darn near finished. If he has a chance to bring back Martin and Clutterbuck, I think he'll think about it. But yeah, the team's probably pretty set as it is.
Can you name 3 heavy metal bands you liked growing up? Give one to Yvonne.
For me, three heavy metal bands growing up. I mean, Dio was kind of singular, but I mean, yeah, I'll go with Dio. I didn't listen to metal that much growing up. Like, I listen to Metallica now, but I didn't listen to them when I was growing up. Man, which metal did I like? See, and then I liked Kingdom Come, but Kingdom Come was just a derivative of Led Zeppelin. And once I got into Zeppelin, my Kingdom Come tapes, they got just thrown away. That's tough. I guess Zeppelin, if Zeppelin qualifies, did I listen to them growing up? I know you listened to way more metal growing up than I did. Her list is a long list.
Listened to a lot of metal when I was a teenager. I was very much a goth girl in high school.
I wasn't.
I love Tool, still love Tool. I really liked Korn and Marilyn Manson and 9 Inch Nails. Bush, they're not metal,
They're
but
alternative.
All of those. Kitty was like early 2000s though, so not really when I was growing up. I was in university by then. Ministry, I listened to a lot of Ministry.
See, like,
I listened to a lot of Ministry.
If hair metal qualifies, then Cinderella would be a pick. But
I really don't.
I listen to Cinderella now, and I think, well, that's not really metal, but it's hair metal.
I don't like hair metal.
But I didn't like Poison at all.
No.
Poison, to me, Poison was the reason that hair metal died. People were like, all right, this has gone too far.
I don't.
You got to stop now.
It's not a phase, Mom. My mom, she's not on here right now. She hated my music because my sister was all into NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and Spice Girls. And here I am listening to Tool and Marilyn Manson.
See,
she was not a fan. She's still not a fan.
I could say Tesla, but Tesla's Southern rock more than their metal. I don't consider Tesla to be metal.
No.
I still love Tesla. I know she doesn't.
No.
I still love Tesla. I think they're great.
Oh, Limp Bizkit. I did like Limp Bizkit. I've seen him in concert. Oh, Metallica. That just reminded me because Limp Bizkit with Metallica. Linkin Park. That again, I was in university.
The band she's talking about, I had graduated school a while ago before they were around. So I listened to a lot of the same bands she's mentioning. Just
Josh,
I was
coincidentally,
older.
I also dislike your music. I know. It's okay, Josh. I don't like your music either.
I put Tay-Tay on too. There's times we're out and I'm
Evanescence, fantastic. We're gonna see them in concert pretty
next month.
Woo-woo.
The Warning, Hailstorm, and Evanescence.
It's gonna be
back
great.
to back to back. I'm excited.
That'll be fantastic.
That's gonna be awesome. The review on October 15th is gonna be late. Sorry, not sorry.
Fred Durst is dope. I don't know. I mean, I liked him back then. Still fun. Those first 2 albums were really fun, and then I didn't like them so much after that. But yeah, that was some fun music. Oh, I liked Sugar Ray back before they were terrible. The first album, minus the one song that did really well, and they made the music go.
That's the Rabbits right now. So you can see Licorice has his feet out behind him. That's when you can tell he's really chill and comfortable. So he's got his feet out behind him. He's kind of laying on his side. Bang, bang.
So jealous of Hailstorm and Evanescence. What a good concert.
And The Warning.
I
am so excited about seeing The Warning again. First time we'd seen them, I hadn't heard them before. So fell in love with their music while we were at their concert, and since then I've listened to them a lot. And
I knew he would like them as soon as they
really
opened.
excited.
I was like, oh yeah, you'll like them.
I'm really excited to get a Warning T-shirt at the concert and any other Warning merchandise I can.
Oh, that's funny. I did merch for Sugar Ray back when they were good, or when they turned to. Have you heard of the Who? Yeah, they're great.
HU or
really,
WHO?
Yeah, the Who, HU, the Mongolian.
Yeah, I listen
metal.
to them.
They're fun.
Yeah, I listen to them because I've really got into that. Like, I listen to Heilung now. I've gotten really into the weird sort of folk music that's metal adjacent. I think that's a lot of fun to listen
to. Power metal, thrash, and I don't even know how to say that. It's all the good stuff. All the other subgenres of metal are garbage.
See,
well, disagree.
We listen to new metal.
I do.
Industrial as well. So like Ministry,
Viking metal. My 17-year-old, that's his favorite.
Yeah, there's some really good stuff out there.
Do you like screamo?
No,
I don't.
If a band has a lead singer that has a deep growly voice, or in her case, if it's like the '80s hair metal, the kind of shriek
like hair metal.
In the
voice they do.
She doesn't like it. I don't mind it. So
I don't.
But yeah, the growly. The way I've always described it is, it sounds like Cookie Monster's the lead singer.
Yes.
So if it sounds like it's Cookie Monster that's singing it, I'm probably not going to like it.
The concert that I took the kids to this week.
The funeral one?
No. Funeral Portrait were fantastic. Yes.
Something Prevail?
Slaughter to Prevail.
Slaughter to Prevail.
Okay. I took my kids. I took all 3 kids. Just me and the kids. Took them to a concert this past week. Slaughter to Prevail. Band that I would normally not listen to because it's very much the Cookie Monster voice, and I was telling them, "Be all cookies," and Gabriel thought that was just the funniest thing ever.
Yeah,
way better live than they are just listening to them. So there's that. But they were good. They were good live, even though it did still sound like Cookie Monster. And when I pointed that out to the kids, they thought that was great. No Linkin Park. Linkin Park. It's fantastic. We do really like Linkin Park.
I like Linkin Park.
I was lucky enough to see them live.
And then
I think it was 2000, maybe 2001. They opened up, or they were with Metallica and Limp Bizkit.
The growly voice too reminds me of Clerks. Reminds me of the Russian guy in Clerks. My love for you is ticking clock berserker. Like, it's just that. So when I hear the growly voices, I think of him and the movie Clerks. That's beautiful, man.
Favorite Canadian band? 3 Days Grace. No question.
It is hard to go against 3 Days Grace.
No question.
I
really
Canadian
like
artists.
3 Days Grace.
One Canadian artist I like a lot is Lights. Her individual songs aren't necessarily ones that I listen to all the time, but she's very talented, and she's been around forever. And then, of course, I love Nelly Furtado, but that's not obviously metal or a band. But Nelly Furtado, kind of fantastic. She's not a fan.
Yeah,
I'm more of a fan than she is by a mile.
I'm not a pop fan or whatever you would.
That's why I'm not taking her to the Paula Abdul concert here in town.
That's not my.
Even though Tiffany and Taylor Dane are opening up for her, come on now, but no.
Nickelback is overhated, and they're actually good. Absolutely, I really like Nickelback.
Their new stuff's really good.
Their last 2 albums have been fantastic.
Yeah,
I really like Nickelback.
Good.
I was upset that their last concert when they were here in Vancouver was way too expensive, so I couldn't go. I really wanted to take the kids to that because they really like them.
Yep.
Not Bublé.
We don't listen to the same music he does.
No.
We don't. I've mentioned popular artists that he has no idea who they are.
What about Our Lady Peace? I actually like Our Lady Peace. They're a very different genre than
They're
I usually
okay.
listen to, but I do like Our Lady Peace.
They're okay. I mean, Rain Maida, I like Rain Maida, but I'm more of a fan of his wife's music, Chantal Kraviazik. So if I had a choice between the two, I'd rather go to a Chantal Kraviazik concert. She'd rather go see Our Lady Peace.
True.
I don't know why she doesn't open up for him or he doesn't open up. Like they're
there's
both
a
artists.
bunch of other people on here that like Nickelback. There you go. Nickelback
I
is
think the
great.
hate for Nickelback's mostly in the past now. I think it was the end thing.
Yeah. Yeah. They were cool to hate.
Yeah.
Shania Twain. No.
I had a Shania Twain CD
I know.
once. And it was only because it sounded like Def Leppard because Mutt Lange was the producer. And there were just country versions of Def Leppard songs to me.
I really, really don't like country music. I really don't like country music.
Like when Any Man of Mine came out, I was like, that sounds familiar.
Song is so irritating.
Oddly, but it's a Def Leppard song. It is clearly a Def Leppard song. And once you've understood that Mutt Lange put it together, that makes total sense.
Do you like Taylor Swift?
Josh does.
Josh is on here. He does. He likes Taylor enough.
I don't mind Taylor, and I think she's fantastic with what she does. I think she's done a fantastic job of marketing herself and of becoming the biggest star of all of them. But I can't get into her music that much. There are a couple of her songs I like, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
If I was going to listen to a pop artist, it's going to be Dua Lipa or it's going to be Billie Eilish. Those would be the two that I listen to.
Metallica. I do like Metallica.
I like Metallica, but not the Saint Anger album. That album can just go.
Yep, Metallica's good. I've seen them in concert. They were with Limp Bizkit.
I don't think I've ever been angrier than that Saint Anger album.
Linkin Park.
Ironically.
It was great.
Maybe that's how it was designed.
Shannon is a Swiftie. There you go.
Liking a couple of her songs makes me a Swiftie. I don't know that works that way.
Who are some of your favorite fan bases you've interacted with? Like hockey team fan bases? Or are we talking about music still? I would guess hockey.
I'm guessing hockey. Obviously I live here, so I see a cross section of fans from various fan bases. But we go down to Anaheim regularly. And I like the interactions I've had with their fans. They've been, when we're at the arena, they come over. They're really nice. They're good, nice people.
And everybody that we've interacted with the team has been
they're great.
Awesome. Yeah, everybody has been so nice, and they've been so nice to our kids and everything.
But it would be hard for me to give any kind of grade for that since we haven't really been that many places. Like we've been to Vegas a few times. Had a lot of interactions with Vegas fans, especially early on, first couple of trips there. But I mean, I do like that hockey fans, there's a good cross section of people from all walks of life. And I think it's great. And it feels like hockey's, I think, grown in support, or maybe it's just with me traveling and what I see on the channel. Maybe I'm perceiving it that way, but I haven't had bad experiences with the whole fan base. I've had bad experiences with former coworkers that are from certain fan bases, but that's totally different.
See, sorry I'm late. Saw the new Alien movie. Seen Korn and Gojira on the 23rd. Great jersey, Yvonne. Korn is one of those bands that I really, really, really want to see live that I haven't yet. I've been lucky enough to see a lot of bands in concert. Korn is one that I have not.
Yeah, you've seen Five Finger 3 times now in concert.
I have now, yeah. It's okay, Shannon. Flame fans secretly love you like me. Yes, I make sure on each live stream, especially on Patreon, that has at least one reference to Taylor Swift. That's true.
I was thinking about doing a video because I haven't done one in a while on the 10 teams that I'm most likely to wear just casually, and I'd probably be wearing even if I didn't have a channel, because the Flames would be in that top 10. I like wearing Calgary. I've liked their jerseys for a long time.
Jonathan Davis, Korn, the man.
Yeah.
So during the pandemic, do you guys remember the pandemic concerts? I really wish they would bring those back. Why did they stop doing that? Why don't they?
Well, because bands are all on tour
but
now.
yeah, but why don't they film them and you can see them live? Because I saw, crap, I forget. There was a concert we were able to see that they had an actual concert, but they also had it where you could pay like $20 to see it online live.
Right.
I want them to do that
Pussifer.
because there are so many bands that don't come to Canada.
Pussifer's done a couple that way, I think.
Yes, yeah, we've seen a few. But anyways, the Korn pandemic concert, out of all of the online pandemic concerts we saw, Korn was the best. I mean, the Pussifer one was really fun too.
Pussifer is always fun.
The Korn concert was really well done. So that would be fun. Motionless in White was really good too. That's another band I have not seen live that I would really like to.
I saw Motionless in White at the very tail end of their set when I went and saw Slipknot the first time. I was late getting to that concert because I had tickets and I didn't have a way of getting into Vancouver. We didn't know each other then. Otherwise, she would have been more than happy, especially since I had bought 3 tickets with the idea that I could take my kid and then I'd be able to find somebody who wanted to go see Slipknot, especially with a free ticket. Nope.
I totally would have gone.
Nope.
I would so have driven you. That would have been great.
It was Slipknot, Bullet for My Valentine.
They're fun.
Lamb of God. And Motionless in White.
Motionless in White's fantastic.
So you would have been pretty happy with that concert setup. Yeah, I would. And it was a great night, but Motionless in White, I only heard the one song at the end of their set and then they were done.
That would be sad. They're great.
Yep.
Do you still watch Red Letter Media?
Yes. As soon as they release a new video, I watch it right away. There are numerous channels I'm watching a lot of now, and I've actually changed over to other channels I wasn't watching before. It's nice to, broaden horizons a little bit. So,
is Shannon blind as hell, or does he just like you to read? LOL. Well,
there's a long story behind that.
Out of the two of us, I am definitely the more blind one. No, the glasses.
Why are we embiggen it?
We have to actually blow up the font on his computer so that I can see it. My vision is not the best. The reason that I read is because you can't talk and read the comments at the same time. So while he is answering a question, I'm not listening to what he's saying. I am reading through the comments. I cannot just randomly read something because there's always certain people that like to write things on here to get us to read them because they think that would be funny. So that would be why I read the comments while he's talking to you fine people.
What just brushed my leg?
An animal?
Because both rabbits are here. I thought it was a nose boop from a rabbit, but they're both right there. And I know it's not one of the other rabbits because if it was, Cinnabon would be up and fighting right now because they're all girls. Maybe. Yeah, Ghost Bunny, I guess. Because everybody else is asleep.
So yeah, if you think a lot of questions get missed, try stream with one person. It doesn't work. I don't know how you.
It's a setup we evolved into in about 2018, and it really was a matter of I wasn't able to keep up and have the conversational interaction with the live stream, and I was missing stuff. And so it made more sense for her to read the stuff and for me to answer the questions from there.
There you go.
And it gives her an excuse to get all dressed up and look nice.
What are you trying to say?
Gives you an excuse to get all hot and sexy and, it's appreciated. Thanks. I noticed. Greatly appreciated. You get a 20% raise in your allowance.
Ooh, goody.
Make it 15. The sour face is going to make it 10. That's a good look.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
When is Shannon coming to New York?
I wish. I wish. At some point it'll happen. I'm not sure of the time yet, but at some point it'll happen.
Got to know Yvonne better. It's cool. Right? See, then what would I do? That's not true. I have way more than enough stuff to do on the channel. You guys just don't see it. Live streams are more enjoyable with Yvonne present. Aw,
and
thanks.
it makes it quite different than when I'm doing videos. The videos that I do, the one-take nature of the videos that I do, and just the way that I put them together, the live streams have a completely different feel.
That's true. Shannon is a dork. You are correct. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. If you think I'm mean, just be happy Lisa isn't here. Where is Lisa? Where is she?
I don't know.
Somebody should check on her. I know. Well, she was on a live stream a few months back.
How are the previews changing again for this upcoming NHL season?
That's a good one.
I'm not doing daily NHL previews this season. So, because the preview videos don't draw very many views, on Friday I'll preview the weekend's hockey games. On Monday morning I'll preview Monday and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday morning I'll preview Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So, for people that are doing the fantasy stuff we do through the channel, the pick'ems that we do through the channel, there will only be those certain days of videos because I just it's not worth the amount of time I was putting into the previews and getting them up. It doesn't justify doing previews every single day, so it'll be mostly every other day, but it ends up being 3 previews a week instead of 7.
It makes it so with the pick'ems, because I've seen it asked already, and Dr. Putt will explain it more as well.
I'll be doing videos
when
on that too.
Shannon does the preview, he'll do them for 1 or 2 days. For the pick'ems, you'll put that in the comment section for the preview that he does covering that day's games for those games. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. Are you looking forward to the NFL season?
I mean, a little bit. I don't follow the NFL now as much as I did. I don't like. I tried years back, but I found that like it ended up being a lot of time.
Look at who is nosing
with football, and then like I would do entertainment guy videos on it, and it just didn't make sense.
And she's so cute. Look at this cute face. She's so cute. She was whooping my leg.
My favorite Mountain Dew, the blue voltage.
No, they're all gross. What?
The blue raspberry flavor, blue voltage.
Can you send the wife back to the potato farm? We miss her here. I have never been to a potato farm, so do you like Avenged Sevenfold?
We were supposed to see them in concert.
No,
and they canceled.
Then it was one of them like injured their ankle or something.
We're just not meant to see them.
So disappointing.
We're just not meant to see them.
Yeah, and then weren't they coming to Vancouver and then that one got canceled too?
Yep,
Twice. One time
we were going to see them.
We had the tickets, and then one time it got canceled before we got tickets.
Yeah, so we're just not meant to see Avenged Sevenfold. It's not supposed to happen.
I know.
Which is too bad because Nightmare is a fantastic song.
They have some really good ones.
The Stand is a fantastic song.
Okay.
No, not The Stand. What is
Stage.
That? The Stage.
Do we get daily news videos still?
Yes. Daily news videos. The review videos, if there's 10 or more games, I'm modifying the reviews this year. So it's more casual with the reviews. I don't think it'll make the videos shorter necessarily, but I won't be worried as much about the play-by-play stuff if it's a really busy night. I'll be focusing more on the numbers, and I'm going to try to do power rankings for players as well as for teams. So we'll see how it works. I've got much better at using the app, the NHL app, and getting dates and everything and figuring it all out. But I do want to do like player power rankings, but we'll see.
I have a berry tea today. It's a mixed berry. It tastes like raspberry tea though. Rage Against the Machine. That's another one I would have loved to see in concert. but
And then they canceled.
that's what. Well, they had one a
What is it
couple
with
years
us?
ago, and that one got canceled, wasn't it?
They had a pandemic cancellation.
I was gonna say,
first.
wasn't it canceled because of the pandemic?
Yeah.
And then they rescheduled, and then somebody got injured.
Yep.
One of their bandmates got injured, and then
they're
not
like,
touring
we're
anymore.
not touring anymore. We're done.
So
it's like, thanks, great guys.
Yeah.
We never got a new album. We don't get to see them in concert.
I know,
Just
and
can't
they
have
were
nice
going
things.
to come out with a new album. They
Yep.
said they were going to,
And then they
and
didn't.
then they didn't. But I really like them too.
Yep.
Deftones are really fun.
Deftones are pretty good.
Deftone. Fun. Yeah.
I don't say that just to bother her. I don't.
Does Yvonne have her own jersey rack in the studio? Where does she hang hers? I do.
Not in here.
Not in here. They're in a
Different room.
separate room. Mine is a significantly smaller collection.
Yeah, it's only half the size.
It is not. I don't know if
From
you
there
can
to there.
see the little sections here. Let's see if I can do my hands. There's one right there, like that. Okay, so I have a top and a bottom. I have four of these little squares, but that includes all of I have a bunch of sweatshirts.
So that's about
And
400 jerseys she has.
Not even close, because mine's not full. And I go to a lot of Abbotsford Canucks games. So I have a lot more things that I wear to Abbotsford, like coats, because I'm always cold. So I have one whole section that's like my hockey jackets and
Yep.
such.
I have a lot of hockey
125th
jackets too.
of a collection. I don't know. I have way less. I do not have all of the teams. I
Yeah.
don't. There's some teams
Give me some
I
time.
only have one of, like New Jersey. I have two. Yeah, I don't have anywhere near compared to Shannon. A lot of mine are Shannon hand-me-downs, or when luckily I'm in a size that goes on clearance. 42s apparently don't sell very well, and women's smalls and extra smalls. And so
Yep.
the jerseys that fit me go on sale for like $20, $25. So that's how I get most of my jerseys.
That's true.
It
And
works
sometimes I
really
just
well.
buy them.
That's true.
SVP Sports that was doing the whole blowout, I got her a couple of jerseys for like $10 each. I got her really nice Flyers jersey, and I got her a really nice Nashville jersey as well, because she'd been bugging me about how much she needed those teams.
No.
And now
That's
she
not
has
true.
an Islanders as well. So
Too.
the
So there are
stadium jersey
teams
from
that I
this
have
year.
now that I didn't use to.
So she's close to all the teams. She just doesn't know it yet.
I need a Johnny Canuck sweater. Yeah, you
Johnny
do.
Canucks, fantastic. I'm so glad that Abbotsford has that as their logo. I think
Yes.
it's great.
Yeah, it is very fun.
Yep.
Is Yvonne the hockey gal or the hockey girl?
No.
What?
Kirk, no, it was not worth it because you skinned your knee blocking my backhand goal on a rebound. That should have been my goal. And then I had a beautiful goal after that she wasn't even watching. I had a nice give and go on a 2-on-1, and I got it. I sniped it short side. Nobody recording. She didn't watch. She didn't get
Of
a
course,
picture.
he always
Nothing.
gets the best goals when I'm not looking or I'm not recording. It's so weird how that always happens.
I hope the skin knee hurts, Kirk. I do. I don't mind saying that. I hope it hurts. I had a beautiful backhand that was going in, and he just leans, he dives and puts his stick out, and he's not even in net. It's rude. It's rude to play like a goaltender when you're not the goalie. You're upstaging your own goalie, and I think that's bad form.
What do you want the new Utah team name to be?
Mammoth.
Utah Yeti.
Mammoth.
No, Yeti, you're wrong. It needs to be Utah Yeti because that's a fun name. That works. And the Yeti, that would just be fun. Be great.
Maybe.
Who on the Canucks would you put with PD this season to help him get back to 100 season? Also love the videos. Rest in peace, Johnny Hockey.
They're going to try him with DeBrusque. I don't know how that's going to go. I wouldn't mind seeing. I think they both play on the same wing, but if you had Besser and DeBrusque with them, I think that with the right wingers, you could see Pettersson get up into the 80 assist range. and so a 100-point player, I think he'd get 20 goals. I think that could work. But I think that Tocchet's going to mess around with the lines a lot preseason.
Who do you think is the most overrated goalie in the NHL right now?
Overrated? Oh, it's tough because I know people are going to say Bennington in the comment section because I see Bennington a lot. I disagree. I will say this. I do think that Georgiev has a lot to prove this year after a very uneven season last year. He had the wins. He was on a top team, but I don't know that they got the kind of goaltending that they're going to need from him. So I wouldn't go as far as to say he's overrated, but if you look at wins numbers and just his overall numbers, they looked okay. The save percentage was a bit low, and he was just kind of uneven as well.
Any specific reason for the jersey choices tonight?
Obviously, Columbus, Johnny Hockey last night for the meetup. I did not wear a jersey with my number on it because my number that I wear is 13. I felt like that was not a good idea. So I wore Calgary and I wore Columbus for the game last night. And that's why I picked those. Yvonne picked New Jersey because she hasn't worn New Jersey.
Because this is a fun jersey that I haven't worn in a while.
So
I'm pretty sure I've worn this for a live stream before.
I don't know if you have.
I don't know. But I know I haven't. Well, I'm pretty sure I hadn't worn it for a while. So that's
very
fine.
Christmassy.
I try and pick different ones because otherwise I end up wearing certain teams a whole lot. Because there's a couple of teams that I have a lot more jerseys for than others. Yeah, there's a few teams I have a lot more jerseys of than others. My first video of yours was Ryan versus Ryan, but I have a question. Why did you get mad at Kessler, but not, is it Johansson or Johansson? Please answer my question. This has been a mystery for a while.
Oh, Johansson. Kessler, there are a lot of things with Ryan Kessler. I'm just gonna say that Kessler was never really a favorite player of mine. I remember arguing vehemently at my former workplace with people who really liked Kessler. And when he got traded, they were like really upset that he got traded. And I argued up and down that it was better just not to have Kessler than to have Kessler. So that's about as far as I'll go with it. But yeah, I had numerous things with Kessler. And
a lot of people locally
yeah
are not a fan of Kessler.
No.
We can just leave it at that.
Yeah. The one thing, and I think this is something that stuck with Canuck fans, was that when the team was winning, he seemed to be happy. And then as soon as it was obvious they were going through some stuff and they might be looking at a retool or rebuild of some sort, he wanted out. And I don't think that sat well with people.
I see somebody said I need to wear Kraken. That I almost did. I was picking between this one and Kraken. I have 3 Kraken jerseys, and I really like the Kraken jerseys. I have all 3.
Okay.
You got me a home, away, and the fun striped one.
I got a white one that got a really nasty snag in it a week ago. So with all the Adidas being on super dirt cheap sales, I just picked up another one. So
there are a lot of cheap jerseys right now.
Right now,
they're trying to clear out. So if you've been wanting a jersey, now's the time to look.
Yeah, because they're so cheap. They're below cost. I know they're below cost.
Way below cost.
I'm fine with picking them up for dirt cheap.
Calgary should retire number 13 for Johnny.
My prediction is that Calgary and Columbus both retire it, I would say, before their first home game. So the first home game for Calgary, first home game for Columbus. And when those two teams play against each other, I would be very surprised if tributes aren't happening there, because they're in opposite conferences. They only play twice, once in each city. I think they'll have tributes during that as well.
Where are you getting said jerseys for cheap?
Sport Check. The NHL site itself now has 30% off on all the Adidas. SVP Sports, which is only in Canada. Man, where else did I find? Sports Closet is one that I know is Canadian as well. I found the Seattle one I found through Sports Closet. So, and they've got here right away. I ordered it on the Friday and it arrived on the Monday. So it got here fast. I'm not sure where it shipped from, but it got here fast. And then on the US side, Dick's Sporting Goods usually has really good sales on jerseys as well. And again, the NHL shop is going to have them for cheap right now.
There's a bunny ripping cardboard right behind me. So if you can hear that, it's Cinnabon. Do you think the Leafs improved their goalie situation this offseason?
That's a tough call. I think if Stolarz gives them the kind of goaltending that he gave Florida last year, I think Toronto fans are going to be really happy. But Woll has to stay healthy the full season and show that he's ready to be the guy. And so I'm not sure they have like an actual. They don't have anybody who is what's the word I'm looking for? Like an incumbent starter. They don't have a guy that you're looking at, that's the starter, that's the backup. But they have two guys who have intriguing numbers, and it should be interesting. But a lot of the stuff with Samsonov last year kind of felt knee-jerk, like he'd have a bad game, and then everybody'd turn on him. So considering how unpredictable goaltenders are, that could be a tough environment to play in.
What is the best rivalry in the NHL?
All time, Montreal and Toronto. Montreal and Boston would be on that list as well. The Battle of Alberta is always fun. The best rivalry right now, Vegas and Edmonton is a really, really fun rivalry to watch. And Rangers and either the Islanders or the Devils. Rangers and Devils, I'd like to see that rivalry really, truly get back to where it was this year. I think that'd be fantastic for the league.
Does Shannon have a limit on how many jerseys you let him buy? Let him?
We don't tell each other
let him
any of that. We don't do that.
He's an adult.
Mostly.
There's not a let him.
Mostly.
We both expect each other to be responsible adults and responsible with our finances.
Yeah, we don't spend money we don't have.
Very, very responsible with our finances. So
don't spend money.
There's not a let him. He usually comes up to me and be like, so I love you. And then I'll say, what did you buy?
That's true.
What jersey are we talking about today?
That's true.
How many jerseys? So yeah, it's not a let. That's not how a healthy couple works. Do you know Canada's goalies for Four Nations?
Canada's goalies for Four Nations. Bennington's definitely going to be one of them. And then it gets kind of murky from there. Like pretty sure Stuart Skinner's Canadian. Maybe he gets onto the roster. There was another article I saw today on, how the great Canadian goaltenders have kind of gone by the wayside. And with Carey Price's career being done, we don't really have a premier Canadian goaltender. I know it's something they're working on fixing, but it has to be grassroots from juniors up. So my guess is Bennington, maybe Aiden Hill, and then we'll see from there. But yeah, it's interesting to see how goaltending on the Canadian side of things just hasn't been given priority as other positions have, and goaltending's been given priority clearly by Russian-trained players, Finnish-trained players, and there's some good Swedish goaltenders too. So Europe's kind of ahead of us there.
Just for fun, if you were Vancouver, would you trade Quinn Hughes for Adam Fox 1-for-1?
No. And there's a lot of good American goaltenders too. I have to throw that in there. The U.S. is kind of loaded when it comes to goaltenders. You could kind of loan a couple to the Canadians if you were nice about it.
After the Ryan Johansson situation, do you think the NHL will keep a closer eye on LTIR?
No. The NHL, there's reporting on how they're not all that concerned with LTIR, and they don't follow up with guys who are in LTIR very often. I don't think the NHL has any concern about it. I think that they may, if the Johansson kerfuffle turns into a big payout, the NHL may have some more due diligence before allowing contract termination, but they may still look at it and say, well, that's a team's problem, not a league's problem.
Do the Oilers lack depth in their bottom six? They aren't going to win until they move Nurse Kane contract.
They definitely are thinner in the bottom six than some, but they showed that they could get within a game of the Stanley Cup this past year, and I think they improved their wingers this year. This offseason, I think their wings have improved, and as long as the defense holds up, they're going to be in the mix again.
Once there are more than 32 teams, do you expect the playoff format to change?
They'll probably add the play-in games like you see in the NBA. I don't like it. I don't like the play-in games in baseball either. I mean, when I was a kid, there were 4 teams that made the playoffs in baseball. It was fantastic. But I do think they'll expand the playoffs a bit, probably add a couple of teams via play-in. It'll still be 16 teams for that first official round, but they'll do play-in games before that.
Rest in peace, Johnny Hockey. Where do the Blue Jackets go from here?
We'll have a better picture of what Columbus is going to do. My guess is that Waddell will sit on it for at least a week. And after that, you look at who you can pick up from where. You'll have some money to spend. And then it's a matter of, he did say losing is no longer an option in Columbus. It won't be accepted, but he may have to temper some of that with this taking place, because it's franchise altering. Unless the team can somehow use this as a rallying point and end up pushing towards the playoffs when nobody expects them to, which would be a fantastic story, but it's unlikely at this point.
On a scale of 1 to 10, as a Canucks fan, how worried are you about Demko and the goaltending?
8. I'm very worried about Demko. I remember when Carey Price, when his knees, he'll be all right. He might be out for a little while, and all of a sudden, he's gone for a long time. And Montreal was not forthcoming about how bad things were with Carey Price either. I don't think the Canucks are telling the whole story about Thatcher Demko, and I find that kind of terrifying.
When will you be doing the Blue Jackets preview?
I'm going to wait until at least this coming Friday, and I may make it a little bit further on than that. I'm doing the Rangers one tomorrow, and then that's all the teams except Columbus. Columbus will probably be at the earliest this coming Friday.
What's one rule change that you would like to see implemented?
Get rid of the trapezoid behind the net. Let the goalies come out and flub the puck all they want. And then for free, I'll throw in a second, which is I'd get rid of the instigator.
Does Vegas re-sign Hill after this season? If not, do they bring someone up or trade, and for who?
The Golden Knights, I would think if Hill doesn't have a great start to this season, they may very well look for somebody else. Keep in mind, Shesterkin's up this coming summer, and if he and the Rangers can't find an agreement, I would be shocked if Vegas didn't make a huge push for him on July the 1st. I'd be very surprised, because if you add Igor to that team, suddenly they could get back into contention.
What happened with Ryan Johansson's situation? I know it was a breach of contract, but do we have more specific details?
So what's been said is that he showed up in the AHL, but that the injury he had was different than what was reported. So I don't think we know the whole story on exactly what it was with Johansson. And once this has been settled and the dust clears, we'll have a better idea. But basically, it sounds like maybe they're accusing him of not disclosing an injury, or there's something there that they've said, okay, this is reason enough. But they were trying to get rid of that contract anyways. So that's where there's kind of an odor to this, because they wanted to get rid of that contract anyways.
What's one province you'd want to live in other than BC?
Newfoundland. I'd love to live on the East Coast.
That would be so not convenient for
watch the icebergs float by.
If I was to live anywhere besides BC, it'd be somewhere in the Maritimes. but I don't want to live anywhere other than BC.
Newfoundland's
I
4.5 hours ahead of us. Just think how much
I
fun that
know.
would be.
See, no,
I'd be up till 4 in the morning
That
watching
would-
hockey.
that would be terrible.
During the playoffs, I could be up to like 4:30 in the morning.
That would be terrible. Yeah.
I'd have to completely change the channel if I
It-
lived on the East
yeah.
Coast. I'd have to be like, sorry guys, no more reviews.
But if I was to pick somewhere besides BC, it'd be somewhere in the Maritimes. But I really like living here.
Like I'd have to do the reviews the morning after, and they'd have to just be synopsis, just very quick. Here's what happened. Here's your score. And I'd have to completely change the channel.
Can you explain the Johnny Gaudreau contract situation now with the unfortunate passing of Johnny Hockey and Matthew Hockey?
I think that contract just flat out comes off the books. And Columbus would have that cap space. I would like to see Columbus pay the contract out in full for the Gaudreau family.
I was
And I
wondering if they would do that.
I think that'll happen. I'd be very surprised if it didn't. Both Johnny and Matthew, young families.
And Matthew's the one that his wife is pregnant, right?
Yes.
They're doing
Yes.
GoFundMe. The GoFundMe's doing
GoFundMe.
really,
It's done
really
really
well
well.
too.
But I think that they'll try to pay that. I would be very surprised if they don't pay that out. And yeah, they'll get the cap relief because of obvious reasons. And yeah. So that's what I think will happen. We'll get more clarity in the coming weeks.
Imagine trying to run this channel in Newfoundland. That would be crazy.
4.5 hours ahead. So right now it would be 1:15 in the
Stupid late.
morning.
Yeah, that'd be dumb. Thoughts on the injury king Sammy Solo? It's a shame the injuries derailed his career. It would be cool if he did a career video on him.
I did a career video on him. Sammy Salo, I'm pretty sure I put in the THG Hall of Fame. Yeah, Sammy was great, but at least he was honest about it too. Like, he come out and tell you what he did. He come out and tell you what was injured, and he was great about it. He was also one of my favorite players when he was in Vancouver. So it's a shame his career wasn't longer. Definitely had a long injury history.
You guys can afford to live in BC. We can't afford to live in Vancouver.
No,
We rent too. So just throwing that out there. We can't afford to buy a house.
can't buy a house.
I don't know who can. We can't.
Nope.
I know I see the comments every once in a while about the YouTube money. I don't think you guys know how this works. But no, we don't live in Vancouver.
Nope.
Can't buy a house.
Yep.
So, nah.
And like, YouTube doesn't count as an employer either. So if you go into a bank and you're like, yeah, so this is how I make my money, they're like, we're not giving you a loan. You could just go ahead out the door there and no. So yeah, I don't even qualify for a credit card because technically I don't have an employer according to credit card companies.
There you go. Well, rent would totally vary. It depends on where you are and what kind of place you live in.
The
It
rent's
super
definitely higher in
varies.
Vancouver than it is
Way
in the valley
higher
here.
in Vancouver.
And it's insane.
How do you have enough money for the jerseys? You don't pay full price.
I generally
It
haven't
is
paid
very,
full price.
very,
a lot
very
of
rare.
A lot of these are used that I got off eBay. A lot of them too I got from like Full Moon Jerseys on eBay. Some of them I got through some haggling with users and just waiting for sales. And so sales would come down and I'd,
And it's
clean
not
up.
like he just bought all these in the past year or something like that. He doesn't just buy them as soon as they come out or things like that.
yeah, it's been a lot of
Like we were
years
saying
now.
earlier, almost all of my jerseys are like $25 or so. So there's all different ways to do that. Yeah.
This one I think I got from Ben.
Sorry, I know I
And
sneezed stupid.
with Ben H Sports, who's in the description, because I've done a lot of advertising for him, I get a break on some of the prices for jerseys, so it works out that way.
Thank you. Sorry, I've been doing really good holding off my sneezing.
She's
I've
just
been
showing
sneezing
off.
so much for like 3
I try not to
days
acknowledge it
now.
because she's just showing off. Like, oh, look at me. I got
Yvonne's
nasal
allergic
passages.
to rabbits. I'm allergic to everything.
She's allergic to everything.
I am. I really am allergic to all sorts of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the note of the jerseys too, another question that we get kind of asked. We're also very financially responsible. We've both had previous relationships with people that were not financially responsible,
True.
and we know the consequences of that and how stressful that can be.
Yes.
And I also used to be a financial security advisor. So we are also very smart with the money that we have. So there is that. We don't do credit cards. We do not have debt. We have zero debt.
I get paid once a month. So the money goes directly into my account from YouTube. And the first thing I do is pay the rent, pay the bills. We do food orders right away. We make sure that we've taken care of the bills, taken care of the food, and then we're able to buy things or plan for, concert or whatever we might be doing that month. But we make sure everything's paid first.
And we put all money in savings.
Yes,
we've got
that's automatically deducted every month.
RSPs, our TFSAs, and our RESPs.
And that automatically gets deducted every month.
Yep, there you go.
So we do our best on all of that.
Bless you from Idaho, Yvonne. Come back.
You should go back to Idaho.
Oh no. Oh, somebody asked for I lost it. Advice on second marriages.
Technically, it's my first marriage.
But you were in a partnership for 15 years where you lived together and you had children together. That totally counts as a marriage.
I learned what I didn't want. So I got it right this time.
Right.
Because I learned what I was not willing to compromise on this time around, for lack of a better way of putting it.
It's, right.
There were certain compromises I made in a previous relationship where I was like, well, I'll sacrifice for, and this time I was like, no, I shouldn't have to sacrifice who I am. I shouldn't have to sacrifice these things. And I have to find somebody who accepts me for me. So I gave her all of my red flags before we met in person.
He did.
I was like, here's all of the red flags.
He really did.
Here's everything. And like, even, up until like last night, I'm confessing stuff to her I don't tell other people. So like, it just works. I'm willing to tell her anything. And even if I have a dream, where I talk to another woman, just be talking. She's in the dream and I'm like, hey, did you see I was just talking? Like, it's so weird. She's just there. So like my brain goes, okay, we got to have Yvonne here as the babysitter just to make sure while we're asleep, everything's cool. So.
Oh my goodness.
It's so weird.
I think there's a couple of different reasons that Shannon and I work so well. Partly our personalities work really well together.
Well, your personality.
And I, like he was saying, that when you first get to know somebody, there's, how when you meet somebody and you're like, I don't know about that. Then don't.
Yeah.
If there's something about them, you're like, could I deal with that? No. If it irritates you in the beginning, it does not get easier to handle whatever that irritation is as you're around the person more. But then you also need to be with somebody that you can just be yourself with and have fun with.
And as a guy, my argument always seemed to be, well, I don't like this and this, but she's so pretty. And so as I've gotten older, I've realized, okay, just focus on the stuff that you don't like.
Shannon?
I'm trying to say that you have both. That I got pretty and the personality. But when I was in my 20s, I was more like, but pretty. So, I mean, we're not compatible, but pretty. And just, that's, no.
Well, luckily you didn't have to worry about that with me. So.
No, I had both. And now here we are, all these years later.
Anyways. So yeah, that's a big part of it. And also being understanding that your partner does not think the same way you do. So whereas you may have a problem with something, they may not even see it.
Right.
Like they might, or they could see it in a very different point of view. So you have to talk to your partners, and then it works out.
Communication's big.
Yeah.
Communication's really big. So if you feel like you're not comfortable talking about certain topics, that doesn't get better. It generally doesn't get better. So yeah, that's important. But anyways, we should get going. It's been almost 2 hours.
It's a long time.
So we should get going.
People
watch, maybe throw on a movie or TV shows.
Last movie we saw in the theater,
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, yeah, I was thinking Inside Out too, but yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, and we saw Inside Out 2 in the theater as well. So
great.
And did we do reviews for those on the Entertainment Guy?
I don't think so.
I know we talked about Deadpool and Wolverine.
I don't think so.
I think we did a review for. I'm pretty sure we did a review for Inside Out. Anyway,
Shannon on the couch tonight. I don't ever do that.
No.
Ever.
No, lawn.
As stupid as he
out
can
on
be,
the lawn.
I never make him sleep somewhere else.
Yeah.
That
it does happen.
Then all you do is lay there and be mad and madder, and that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Nah.
Unless it's wrestling, but we don't have a wrestling relationship. Makes for a better feud that way. But anyways, thanks for coming out, guys. Greatly appreciate it.
Yvonne would have to deal with all the cats. Nah, they'd probably still sleep with him.
Yeah.
I would have Pixel and Azrael. You would still have Bear and Shadow. Isn't it funny how
Azrael would go
pick
back
their
and
people?
forth between us?
Yeah.
Because Azrael sleeps on me, and then she goes over to you, and then she goes back to me. So at any rate,
it's true.
Thanks for coming out, guys. And we will do this again soon. Take care.
Oh, somebody asked when the next meetup is. 2 weeks.
Yeah, not this Saturday, the following Saturday.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, guys.